This is Fox 5 News Morning.
4:30 now on this Monday morning. A little bit of a cool start here today, but looks like things are going to get pretty nice out there.
Good morning to you, everyone. I'm Sarah Simmons.
And I'm Melanie Alnwick. Welcome to Fox 5 News Morning. Well, first up at 4:30 this morning, a water main break in Aspen Hill is expected to cause some major delays for the morning commute. WSSC says the 10-inch break is on Georgia Avenue, and you know that is a major road into the city and out of the city. Right now, the southbound Georgia Avenue ramp to southbound Connecticut Avenue is closed and will be throughout the morning rush hour. Officials say repairs are underway, but it could take some time, so be sure to give yourself a few extra minutes out there if you are heading that way today.
Now to a news alert out of Virginia this morning, where Fairfax County Police say 2 people are in custody following a possible stabbing in McLean. This happened just before 10 o'clock last night in the 900 block of Spencer Road. Right now, we know that there are 2 victims, and police say the original call was for some sort of home invasion. However, we're unsure right now if that is still the case. We're looking into that, or the exact circumstances of the attack right now. We're still trying to get more information on that. Police say one of the victims suffered life-threatening injuries. Meanwhile, the hunt is still on for at least 2 people believed to be involved in a home invasion, robbery, and shooting. This unfolded around 9:30 last night in the 3500 block of Pear Tree Court in Aspen Hill. Police say 3 masked men went into a unit at the Cinnamon Run Apartments. 1 person was shot and at least 1 other person suffered minor injuries. Police say they arrested the shooter, or the alleged shooter rather, but they are looking for 2 other men. The person shot is expected to survive.
To Anne Arundel County now, where the search continues for a man accused of shooting and killing another man in Laurel. Police say this happened Friday night, but they do believe it was an isolated incident between the 2 men. Fox 5's Jennifer Davis has more.
Neighbors say this is a quiet community full of families and children. So they were surprised by news that police were called to the 200 block of Red Clay Road after 10 Saturday night for the report of shots fired. Arriving officers were directed to this apartment, and inside they found a man suffering from gunshot wounds. The victim, 37-year-old Abelardo Aguilar of Hyattsville. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
This is believed to be some sort of a dispute between 2 males.
Sunday afternoon, police released information on the suspect and vehicle connected with this crime. They say 36-year-old Juan Lux Quinilla of Langley Park is wanted for first-degree murder and other charges after shooting and killing Aguilar with a handgun. Police also released a photo of the suspect's vehicle, a 2006 Cadillac Escalade with possible Maryland tag 01936CF.
At this time, this does not look like it's a random act or anything of that nature. The 2 parties that were involved may have known one another, and we don't think that there's any current need for alarm on the part of the public regarding this particular incident.
Police here describe this as a very active investigation. They are still looking for more information, though, and say anyone who has it can call their homicide unit, or if you'd rather remain anonymous, their tip line. In Anne Arundel County, Jennifer Davis, Fox 5 Local News.
Overseas now to Iraq, where officials say an airstrike has wounded the leader of the group ISIS. State TV has identified him as Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi.
However, Pentagon officials say they have no confirmation that such an airstrike actually occurred. Interior Ministry officials, citing Iraqi militant informants, say that this happened early Saturday morning in the nation's Anbar province. Officials said the operation was carried out by Iraqi security forces. Al-Baghdadi has led ISIS since 2010.
The last 2 American citizens that were being held in prison in North Korea are enjoying their freedom this morning. Kenneth Bay ate pizza as his first meal back here in the U.S. He says his immediate plans are to focus on rest, food, and family. Bay and fellow captive Matt Miller arrived at Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington State Saturday night. The Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, helped negotiate the men's release. Bay had served 2 years of a 15-year sentence for alleged anti-government activities. Miller served about 7 months of a 6-year term for espionage.
Well, back here at home, nearly a dozen people are without a home this morning after a fire just ripped through several townhomes in Aspen Hill.
The home where the fire started did not have a working smoke alarm. Fox 5's Alexandra Lamone has more.
A fire broke out in a second-story bedroom of this Aspen Hill townhouse Sunday afternoon.
There was a report of some people trapped. There were a number of people in the house at the time, maybe a dozen or so folks. So there were some very excited callers.
The damage totaled nearly $100 grand. The blaze was sparked by a candle that was left on.
It's a wonderful family. They've lived there for a long time. We've lived here for a long time as well.
In this particular house, there was one smoke alarm and it did not function.
Montgomery County Fire recommends having at least one smoke alarm on each floor, and preferably one in every bedroom or common room.
You know, this is one of the busiest, well, it is the busiest time of the year for firefighters in the Mid-Atlantic region.
That's because people are starting to use fireplaces and heaters that may not be working properly. Plus, candles and holiday decor or other items left too close to open flames or furnaces increase the risk for a fire. This winter, it's also important to equip your home with a carbon monoxide detector.
Carbon monoxide is a odorless, colorless, it's a silent killer, if you will.
And that was Alexandra Limon reporting. Now, it's an exciting day, exciting morning for many commuters. The final stretch of the Intercounty Connector is set to open for the morning rush hour. The last section of the toll road will extend to Route 1 in Laurel, and a new interchange between the ICC and Route 198 will open to traffic.
All right.
So that is great to have that actually finished.
I know. The first one, it seems like, I remember when we covered that, it's been a couple of years ago. It didn't forget how long this project is.
I'm thrilled about it because that's the way I come to work.
I know, isn't it great?
Yeah, it was. They were always doing construction, and hopefully some of that can wind down now.
All right. What's going on weather-wise?
Well, it's a chilly start to our day. Good news is we'll warm up in a little bit. So, a pretty nice fall day on the way for us here. Satellite and radar will show a few clouds trying to come across the region this morning. Good news is those should be out of here pretty quickly as we get to sunrise. And we'll have a beautiful sunny afternoon in store for us. Temperatures right now, again, on the chilly side, 44 in Washington, 40 in Annapolis. It's currently 35 in Baltimore, 36 in Gaithersburg, 32 at Dulles, 33 in Martinsburg, Cumberland, Maryland. Good morning to you. 32 degrees as you step out the door this morning. And let's get the rest of us out the door here with our out the door forecast. By 6 o'clock here in the district, I think we'll be about 43 degrees. 8 o'clock, 46 degrees. And then by 10 a.m., we should be in the lower 50s with mostly sunny skies. And good news is we're going into the mid 60s later this afternoon.
Hard to believe when we're starting in this, at this point, that it's going to be that warm.
Yep.
But I believe you. I trust you, Mike Thomas.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll put it to the test this afternoon, I guess.
All right. Thanks so much.
And Julie Wright joins us now with Look Traffic.
All right, guys, good morning. And we are starting off with a couple of problems this morning. If you are traveling outbound across the 14th Street Bridge, we'll move to the cameras for this. Outbound is where we have the accident activity. You can see some traffic squeezing by to the right. Outbound crossing over the Potomac by way of 395 and the 14th Street Bridge. Northbound, all of your lanes are open, so no problems to report. Northbound trying to head back over towards the D.C. line. Outbound New York Avenue at Florida, that's where we have police activity. That's what's tying up the outbound stretch of New York Avenue. If you're coming inbound, lanes are open. No accidents to report at this time. Traveling out of Virginia off of 66 headed east of Manassas. Some trouble from yesterday. An accident down near Fort Belvoir is still in the cleanup stages this morning. They're busy replacing a pole and wires. This is going to affect the commute northbound on Route 1, headed up towards the Tully Gate. Traffic right now still being diverted onto 286, the Fairfax County Parkway. Southbound, some traffic is able to get by. But again, this is affecting the inbound commute this morning for those headed over towards Fort Belvoir. That's a check of your Fox 5 on-time traffic.
Great, thank you, Julie.
Still ahead here this morning, marking a monumental occasion in world history. It's been 25 years since the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Germany's capital honoring the event with a special ceremony. It was just so beautiful to watch. We'll have a look at the highlights next.
Well, it's hard to believe this weekend marked 25 years since the fall of the Berlin Wall.
There were many celebrations in the capital of Germany to mark the anniversary. Fox's Greg Palcott has more from Berlin.
Illuminated balloons lining the 9-mile path of the former Berlin Wall are released into the sky. The balloons lifting off exactly 25 years after the East German government announced its citizens could visit West Germany for the first time since the wall was built in 1961. That announcement on November 9, 1989, set off a chain of events that brought down the wall for good. Thousands gathering in front of the Brandenburg Gate Sunday night for a celebration featuring all sorts of performances, including singer Peter Gabriel. But there were poignant moments, too. A minute-long moment of silence for the 138 people who died trying to cross the former Cold War barrier. German Chancellor Angela Merkel speaking at the opening of a new exhibition center created for this anniversary.
The fall of the wall showed us that dreams can become reality. Nothing has to stay as it is, no matter how high the barricades are.
Another ceremony honored former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev for his role in the wall's demise. Gorbachev giving his take on current U.S.-Russia relations.
There are still opportunities, and there's still time to work with Russia. I believe that the Europeans and the Americans should continue to work with Russia.
Pope Francis also weighing in, urging people to build bridges by opening their hearts.
Let's pray for the culture of coming together and to spread around and bring down all the walls which are still dividing the world.
President Obama says Europe is more integrated, prosperous, and peaceful since the fall of the wall, but also says that Russia's recent actions against Ukraine reminds us there is more work to do. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Well, the Redskins enjoyed a rare Sunday off in the midst of a bye week, but is it enough for the team to get a little win in their next game? What Coach Gruden is saying about the rest of the season.
Plus, the heartwarming story of a blind athlete whose inspiration has captured the attention of Hollywood. How his story will soon be told on the big screen.
Plus, we'll have another check of your weather and traffic coming up at 4:45. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Good morning. A live look outside right now. 4:45 and 45 degrees. Somebody quick play the lottery. Right. We got some pretty good numbers right there. Although I don't know if that's good for people that don't like the cold.
It's not that bad, though.
I don't think so either. But my car said 38 degrees. Is that possible?
Oh, yeah. It depends on where you are.
But I was like, I'm in Alexandria.
Yeah.
Is it that cold there?
It is. And, you know, we measure the airport here for the city officially is at Reagan National, so it's right by the river.
Yeah.
And the river this time of year helps keep things a little warmer.
It's a big difference, though.
Down there.
So it is
Then
colder
out in the
out
suburbs,
there for some.
yep. There are places just outside the city center, believe it or not, at freezing, 32 degrees.
Wow.
So it's a big gradient as you head out from the metro area that you hit those 30s. Right now in the district, again, we're 44. And again, we measure that right by the river. So just outside of this immediate place, you're going to get right into the 30s. Richmond, which is away from any river, is 37 degrees. 43 in Pittsburgh this morning, 39 in Columbus, 42 in Beckley, West Virginia. So a very cold morning up and down the East Coast, but again, very seasonal as well. This is where we should be here for the 10th of November. All right, satellite and radar, I'll show you a strong ridge of high pressure here. That's going to take control this afternoon. We'll have a sunny afternoon, a few clouds coming across this morning, but once those get through and we get the sun up, these will start to break up and we'll have a good sunny afternoon. All right, here's that ridge of high pressure I mentioned up and down the East Coast. For that reason, it's going to keep us dry. And again, a good sunny afternoon headed our way. We're going to go into the low to mid 60s for just about everybody this afternoon, which is, believe it or not, mild this time of year. Our average high temperature is 60 degrees. All right, so again, highs today, 65 here in the district, lower 60s out in the suburbs, 62 in Gaithersburg, 64 Manassas, 63 degrees in Quantico. Big changes coming next week, though, especially as we get, or this week, rather, as we get into the end of the week. Thursday and Friday, really that cold air starts to sink into our region. And I think as we wake up on Saturday morning, we're going to be dealing with our coldest temperatures that we've seen here so far this fall season. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast. You can see tomorrow, not a bad day at all. 69 degrees under mostly sunny skies. But as we get towards the end of the week, here come highs in the 40s with lows in the 30s. 31 as you wake up on Saturday morning. All right, that's a check of your weather. Let's check traffic. Good morning, Julie Wright.
I had to wonder if I was going to come in after that or not. 31.
31.
All right. Well, on the roads this morning, we do have some problems to report. For starters, this is outbound across the 14th Street Bridge. The accident activity tying up the right side of the road. Look for some volume delays as you continue outbound. Inbound, the lanes are open. Also in Virginia, northbound Route 1. They are still busy repairing the pole and the wires that were knocked down as a result of yesterday's crash. crash. You'll find Route 1 over at the Tully Gate. Traffic is being diverted over to 286, the Fairfax County Parkway. Southbound, the lanes remain open. No accidents to report right now on 395 as you travel north of the Beltway headed up towards Duke Street. Top stretch, the outer loop. You're at speed from College Park through Silver Spring. So far, so good. Southbound 270 coming in out of Germantown, headed for the lane divide, and no problems to report right now. Traveling across the Key Bridge and working your way inbound South Capitol Street across the Douglas Bridge. That's a check of your Fox 5 on-time traffic.
All right, thanks so much, Julie.
State lawmakers in Virginia are back in Richmond today for a special session. The General Assembly is putting the finishing touches on a new 2-year budget, and they have to take a vote on a new Virginia Supreme Court justice and 2 judges for the Court of Appeals. Plus, Republican Senate Majority Leader Thomas Norman has also introduced a bill aimed at allowing Virginians to renew health insurance plans that did not meet the standards of the Affordable Care Act.
A special day for 25 people who will become U.S. citizens in a special ceremony in celebration of Veterans Day. The naturalization ceremony will happen later this morning at the National Museum of the Marine Corps in Triangle, Virginia. The new citizens come from 20 countries. Across the U.S., more than 3,000 people are becoming citizens during a week-long period this month tied to Veterans Day.
As we prepare to honor our nation's veterans tomorrow, preparations are underway on the National Mall for the Concert of Valor. A dress rehearsal is planned for today, and some roads around the mall will close for that rehearsal. The Concert for Valor will feature some big-name stars, including Rihanna, Bruce Springsteen, and Carrie Underwood. That all starts at 7 o'clock, and some roads on Tuesday will close at 6 a.m., so pretty early. Gates to the event open at 10 a.m. All are urged, of course, to take Metro. And we do have more information for you on myfoxdc.com about the concert.
For the first time in 7 years, thousands of runners, 20,000 to be exact, crossed the Bay Bridge for a 10K across the Bay race on Sunday. Runners represented all 50 states and 11 countries, and of course, the Fox 5 family. A lot of people from our station also laced up and went for that run yesterday. Some proceeds from the race benefited the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Well, in today's Sports Breakfast, the Redskins enjoyed a rare Sunday off during their bye week. It was funny, Tony Perkins was tweeting out, "It's a great Monday because the Redskins didn't lose."
Right, because they didn't play.
The players also taking advantage of the opportunity to rest up for the final 7 weeks of the season.
Well, let's see what they can do. The Burgundy and Gold are 3-6 right now, and playoff goals are quickly fading. However, head coach Jay Gruden says the team is focused on the task that is ahead.
Enjoy their time off, get their minds right and their bodies right, and get ready for the last 7 games to really compete their butts off, man. That's all there is to it. I think sometimes getting away for 4 or 5 days will be good for them, get their families, and really think what's important from a football standpoint and come back here and get ready to compete, because we still have a lot to play for. And whether it's for the playoffs, whether it's for the Super Bowl, whatever, we're playing for the Washington Redskins and the city here, and we're going to go out and compete, and we're going to go out fighting, that's for sure.
And up the road just a bit, John Harbaugh and the Ravens are now entering their bye week after taking on the Titans yesterday. Now, Tennessee got on the board first with a 3-yard touchdown run by Leon Washington with just 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Baltimore would tie it up in the second on a Justin Forsett 9-yard run. And then he got the go-ahead score on an 11-yard run in the third. Joe Flacco would connect with Torrey Smith for a 32-yard TD. The Ravens go on to win 21-7.
All right, go Ravens. Meanwhile, the Cowboys and Jaguars faced off across the pond in London. Tony Romo returned after missing a game with a back injury. Second quarter, Cowboys down 10-7. Romo finds Des Bryant to avoid a tackle after a tackle for a 35-yard touchdown to give Dallas a 17-7 lead. Romo and Bryant would hook up for a 68-yard score in the final minute of the first half. Dallas goes on to win 31-17. The Cowboys are 7-3 for the first time since 2009. Wow. Now to the inspirational story of a blind athlete who has touched the heart of a movie director.
His story is now making its way to the big screen, and Fox's Laura Ingle has more on that.
And in less than 48 hours, I went from perfect 20/20 vision to no vision at all.
Travis Freeman grew up playing football in the small town of Corbin, Kentucky. But at 12 years old, an endless migraine changed his playbook forever.
I woke up on the morning of the 10th day and the headache was gone. But at that point, there was a different problem. My left eye was beginning to hurt.
Travis was rushed to the University of Kentucky emergency room to undergo surgery for a severe sinus infection behind his eyes, known as cavernous sinus thrombosis.
Cavernous sinus thrombosis is actually a clot in one of the major veins at the base of the brain. Publications that suggest it may occur 4 times in a population of 10 million per year. So we're talking about something that's terribly, terribly rare.
When Travis came out of surgery, he was completely blind, but he wasn't afraid or resentful. He still had faith.
I turned to them and said, I believe I will see again. But if I don't, I can't wait to see what God's going to do through this.
Travis returned to the field as a center with 2 guards to help him line up. He'd blindly snap the ball to the quarterback and then plow forward to block the player in front of him.
When I was back on the football field for the first time, it really felt like home. It felt right.
Travis's triumph on the field would touch more people than he could have ever imagined. Hollywood wanted to bring his story to the big screen.
Why can't I see?
Travis.
You're blind, son.
I don't know why things like this happen to good people.
It was one of the most compelling stories I'd ever read. I was so excited by it.
The film 23 Blast is an uplifting tale based on Travis's life.
23 Blast is one of the few movies I think that have ever been made where a handicapped person is the hero, where he succeeds.
The movie has love, drama, and even some laughs.
I ended up in the opposing team's huddle, and that was not a good, positive experience in my life.
No, Kyle! Get him!
Get off me!
Kyle, will you get him?
Travis's story is one of overcoming that disability does not equal inability.
I don't know if I would want to get my sight back right now. I know that I would not trade the experiences I've had over the past 21 years for all the sight in the world.
23 Blast is in theaters now. Visit 23blast.com for more information. Laura Engel, Fox News.
Wow. Inspirational indeed.
I know, just amazing. We're saying, just the fact how everyone pulled together and despite this guy's disability and said, you know what, we're going to not let that stop you or the team.
I know, to be able to overcome that.
Great.
It's quite the example to set for sure.
Great example. Great story.
All right. What's going on outside?
Well, not such a great story. It's the cold temperatures this morning. So make sure you grab the jacket as you head out the door this morning. You can see it there, Sarah, what you were talking about earlier, how you get outside the city and boom, the 30s kind of hit you like a brick wall. Gaithersburg at 36, Dulles at 31, Manassas 30 degrees right now, so below freezing for you. Again, here in the city, 44 degrees, which is right about where we should be for this time of year. Here's your 7-day forecast. Again, a little bit of a warming trend here, 65 today, 69 tomorrow. Then we have a front come through kind of late Wednesday into Thursday, and you can see the low on Wednesday is actually the high on Thursday. So it'll be one of those funky days where we drop pretty much all day on Thursday. And then check out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, highs in the 40s, lows in the 30s. So chilly times ahead.
I sense a fire being built in my fireplace for the weekend because I'm going to need it.
Hope you got your husband to clean it out.
Oh, wait, yeah, that too. Julie Wright. I need some help.
I was going to say, just come to my house. I'll cook, and then there'll be a fire.
There you go.
We'll be hungry, but we'll be warm. All right, on the roads this morning, you're going to find the accident still there as we move to the cameras. Outbound 395 on the 14th Street Bridge. Stay to the left in order to get through. No accidents to report northbound coming across the Potomac, headed over to the Southeast-Southwest Freeway. You'll find in Virginia 66 is running that speed, leaving Fair Oaks and continuing inbound towards the Beltway. Problem spot's going to be Route 1 over at the Tully Gate. We're still busy cleaning up a wreck from yesterday. Northbound lanes are diverted at the Fairfax County Parkway. That's a check of Fox 5 on-time traffic.
Thank you, Julie. Straight ahead here at 5, President Obama touches down in China. We'll have details of his schedule during a 3-country Asian tour.
Plus, the president also making it clear this morning his plans to issue an executive order on immigration reform. We'll tell you why congressional leaders say there will be major consequences if he does.
And an exciting day for commuters here in our area. The final stretch of the Inter-County Connector is set to open. We are live with a closer look at the improvements coming up.
This is Fox 5 News Morning.
Straight ahead here at 5, a big day for area commuters. The final stretch of the Intercounty Connector opening this morning. We're live with a preview for you.
And a live look outside right now. A little chilly out there, but it's going to be a beautiful fall day. We're glad you're joining us 5 o'clock this morning, Monday, November 10th.
Good morning to you. I'm Sarah Simmons.
And I'm Melanie Alnwick. Welcome to Fox 5 News Morning.
Topping our news this morning, Montgomery County Police on the hunt for 2 people believed to be involved in a home invasion, robbery, and shooting. This all started just before 9:30 last night. Police say 3 masked men went into a unit at the Cinnamon Run Apartments in the 3500 block of Pear Tree Court in Aspen Hill. 1 person was shot and at least 1 other person was injured. Both are expected to be okay. Police say they have made 1 arrest.
And new information right now about a deadly shooting in Laurel Friday night. Anne Arundel County Police have identified the victim as Abelardo Aguilar. The 37-year-old Hyattsville man was shot in an apartment on Red Clay Road about 10 last night. Police say 36-year-old Juan Quinilla is wanted for the murder. The suspect could be driving a cream-colored Escalade with Maryland tags. And happening today, the Maryland man who had ricin in his Georgetown University dorm room will be sentenced. 19-year-old Daniel Millsman was arrested in March for having a plastic bag of the deadly poison without registering it with federal authorities. Millsman is facing up to 5 years in prison. He worked out a plea deal with prosecutors on a 1 to 2 year prison sentence and 3 years supervised release. Well, a big day for many commuters this morning.
The final stretch of the Intercounty Connector, the ICC, is open to traffic. Fox 5's Annie Yu is live in Laurel, Maryland with all the details. Good morning, Annie.
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Mel. That's right. It's an exciting day for commuters. You know, for a while now, the Silver Line and hot lanes were the hot topic around here, but the ICC is stepping up and taking the spotlight today. And just to refresh your memory, as with a lot of these mega project construction sites, the ICC was split up into different phases. And the first 2 phases opened back in 2011. And today they are rolling out the final stretch, and it is fully functioning starting today, just in time for the morning rush hour. Now, we are live here at the ICC entrance off of Route 1. And starting today, the ICC will open at its full length. So stretching east an extra 1.5 miles to Route 1 in Prince George's County. So the new traffic patterns will be in place in Laurel, where the ICC meets 95 and Route 1. But at the same time, they're also opening the I-95 interchange at Cantera Drive to traffic. So crews, you know, have been working since Friday to roll this out, getting the last part of the ICC ready to go and preparing for this final extension here. And, you know, according to the AAA, a lot of vehicles do travel this roadway. We're talking about 45 to 50,000 vehicles per day that travel this ICC. So no doubt with the final stretch, more commuters will be taking advantage of this. Back to you.
Yeah, making it a little bit easier for drivers out there.
And also like for people
Right.
going to BWI.
Oh, right. That's a huge help.
Yeah.
Big help for them.
Anything to help with traffic around here.
I know.
Thanks, Annie.
Thank you. A new and improved website for the president's health care plan is now available. The website launched yesterday, and officials say they hope the new site will avoid any major technical glitches that it saw last year. The reconfigured healthcare.gov comes before a 3-month open enrollment period that is set to begin on November 15th. During that time, existing policyholders can change their coverage if they want to. Website administrators say the improvements will make it easier to shop for coverage and access call centers. President Obama is in China right now on the first leg of a 3-country tour of Asia. The president is set to give a speech on U.S. and Asian relations at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in Beijing. Other issues the president is expected to address include cybersecurity and free trade. Mr. Obama will also visit with China's president before heading to Myanmar and then on to Australia.
And before the president left for Asia, he made it clear that he does plan to tackle immigration reform with or without Congress. Republicans warn that executive orders would only further harm relations between the president and Congress. But Mr. Obama says GOP lawmakers can always override him by taking their own action.
The minute they pass a bill that addresses the problems with immigration reform, I will sign it, and it supersedes whatever actions I take.
I'm hoping the president will delay and have a real comprehensive discussion about what's possible, because a great deal is possible.
An announcement detailing what executive action the president might take is expected before the end of the year.
5:05 now. Mike Thomas back with a look at your weather on the 5s here.
So it's chilly out. I think we all know that as you hit. Good news is that as you get into the afternoon, it'll warm up a little bit.
I think it's going to be great.
65. So we're normally 60 degrees this year for a high, but we'll be mid-60s this afternoon. Upper 60s tomorrow. Some places might hit 70. So good weather on the way here for at least a couple days. Satellite and radar shows a couple clouds coming across the region right now. So maybe a bit of a cloudy start to your day. But good news is the sun will come out this afternoon. There's going to be plenty of it. And again, we should see the mid-60s. Right now, though, it's mid-40s in D.C., 44 degrees, 42 in Annapolis, currently 36 in Gaithersburg, 30 degrees in Manassas, 30 in Culpeper as well. Dulles, good morning, 31 for you, and 32 degrees right now in Cumberland, Maryland. Again, this afternoon headed up to about 65 degrees with a light southerly breeze. A sunny day, mild and pleasant, certainly not bad at all for a day here on the 10th of November.